Hey everybody, it's Paul with CDA Software. We're going to go ahead and get started with our third part for commissions. And in this part, we're going to talk about reports. So there's going to be two separate areas where you can go to get pretty good information about reporting for commissions. The first one is going to be under Utilities, Employees, Employee Commissions. And then the second one we're going to look at is under Reports menu, Invoice Reports, and then Employee Commission Report. So what we're going to do to get started is we're going to go to Utilities, Employees, Employee Commissions. So here we are. It popped up this window, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over all the options here, but for this particular time we're going to work right to left so it makes it a little bit easier on what we did. The first thing I want to point out is that we have a submit button here for claim number, commission date we have a submit, and for employee code we have a submit. Each one of these submits and inputs is separate from each other. So when I run a claim number, then I run commission date, there is no association with the two. So each of these will be independent. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to enter in a claim number, and I'm going to say, hey, show me all the commission information on this claim. And boom, there we go. There's information about this claim number, and it's showing all of the information. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, show me commissions that were ran for yesterday. So I'm just going to put in a date and I'm going to hit submit. Now notice it gave us a big log and it did not give us just this. Again, these are separate. Now I'm going to say, hey, show me a report for just a particular tech. So I'm going to say submit, and then there's all of my commissions that have been paid for this tech. So again, each one of these is separate. So that's the first thing I want to point out. So now that we can run different reports in here, we can export them as a CSV, which I'll show you in a moment. And then just like our previous videos that we reviewed, if you right click, you can say edit selected record, you can delete, or you can display a work order. So again, if we say edit here, it's only going to let us do a comment or the total hours. And that's because if you remember on previous videos, we don't have a manual add. And again, from previous videos, if I say delete, I cannot delete an entry unless it was a manual add. Now in order to get a manual add for this claim number, I can just come in here and say add. And you'll notice I can enter in information that's associated with this claim number because that's what I'm working with. I'm going to go ahead and abort. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to apply this same logic but with a big list. So now let's go and say show me all of the commissions that were ran for or paid for yesterday. So we're just going to say submit, and now we have this big list. And so let's go ahead and notice if I click on this right here and this entry right here, and it ends in 894. Now if I say add, I'm going to add an entry for the line item that I'm highlighted. So look right there, it's 894, it's 894. So any row that I'm highlighted on, that's going to be affected by these three buttons here. So if I highlight this second one, I say edit, I can edit it. If I say delete, I can't delete it because it's not a manual add, so it's not going to let me. So now let's go ahead and export all this information. So no matter where we click, it will export to what you see on the screen. So I'm just going to go ahead, click here. I'm going ahead and tell it to export to an Excel CSV. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that button. And here you can see it opened up the CSV in Excel, and now I can see all the information and I can make pivot tables and do anything that I need to do to manipulate this information. So now that we've looked at this part, let's go ahead and look at our second half. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to reports, we're going to go to invoice reports, and we're going to go to employee commissions reports. So let's go ahead and click on that. So here we are, we're in the employee commissions report. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start from left and go to right, and we'll look at all this information, and then we'll do an export to both a CSV and a PDF. So what you can do is you can manually just enter in an employee. So you can just start typing, and it will start to find the employee. Or let's say you want to run a report, but you want to do it just for your road techs. So what you would do is you come down here and you say, hey, show me all my road techs. And there you are. You have all your road techs. Now notice just one tech is selected. I can say, hey, select all, then run a report. What I'm going to do though is I'm just going to have one technician selected, and then I want to show you how you can get to this filter where the employees are given a group that they're associated with. So we're just going to show you that. And so here's an area that we're all familiar with. This is the Edit Employee Setup. So if you go to Utilities, Employees, Edit Employee Table, you come here, and then right over here it says Employee Group. This is a drop-down menu, so if I click on it, it'll say Road Tech, Office, or Hub Personnel, however you have it set up. So each of our technicians are in a group that are called Road Tech, and that's what allowed us to show just the Road Tech employees. So those are two areas how you can filter. You can then say, hey, show me by different ranges. You can come here and say, hey, just show me for one day. You can do it that way. And then what it has, it says, how do you want to sort the data after you submit it? So you can say by commission, date complete, date paid, and you can say, hey, show me all jobs that include zero commission as well that are associated with this technician. So for our purposes is we're going to go ahead, say, show me just for one day. We're going to sort on the commission day, and we're going to go to this technician right here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to click submit. And so here we are. This is the report that I pulled. We just did one employee just to make it easy for our eyes right now. Gives us all the pertinent information that we would expect. And more importantly, what it's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to export this information. Now again, if you were running it, you probably may have all your technicians selected, but for our demo, we're going to keep this simple for our eyes so we can learn, is we're just going to do one employee, and then I'm simply going to export it as a CSV, and then we'll go ahead and do a PDF. So I'm just going to say export to Excel. And so here it is. That's what it would look like. Now again, if we had multiple employees, you would see multiple names. But just to keep it, again, simple, I just want to show you this. Again, it shows us the date range, has all the pertinent information that you would expect it to have, so we can manipulate the data and, as usual, get it into a pivot table. So that's what it looks like with Excel. Now let's go ahead and see what it looks like when it's a PDF. So here's our PDF. Again, same information that we displayed on the Excel, but it's just formatted for a PDF. So that's what that. And again, the two areas that we went to were going to be under Utilities, Employees, Employee Commissions, and then we went to Reports, Invoices, Employee Commissions Report. So that will conclude today's video.